Hello, everyone, and welcome to Light Language Messenger. And for those of you watching on the Great Awakening Generator, you are very welcome here. Firstly, thank you so much for all your likes and all your comments. Also, welcome to our new subscribers. I hope you enjoy the community that we are here on both the Light Language Messenger channel and the Great Awakening Generator. So good to have you on board. Well, today's light language message. Now, I've just come off another interview. I was doing a live chat with Phil Rice and hey, on the Great Awakening Generator. So if you catch that, I hope you do catch that, because Phil is an amazing, amazing brother of light. That's the way I can describe him. He's an amazing brother of light. I've known Phil for maybe the last 16 years of my life. We met with when it came to radio, like, his family was part of the radio station starting all those years ago. And that's how I know him. He's a musician. He is a teacher. He is a Reiki master. So please do catch Phil's live chat. He's giving us some really good pointers on how we navigate intention and goal setting. And I'm trying, and I won't be saying it, but you know how we say New Year resolutions? Well, we're not going to use that word anymore, because us in the community that we're in and the language we speak, we would say, so what is your intention? Where do we'd say goal setting. We might say, what is your goal for this year? But our question would be, what is your intention a lot of the time? So what are you intending to get out of this? That kind of thing. So I hope you catch that. Now, friends, today's message was going to be the intention card. And it's interesting because I've just spoken to Phil Rice and we talked about that topic. But then I looked again and I read the modify card. And I feel like the modify card is what I have to bring in before the intention card. Perhaps the intention card is the last one, because the next card again is also about encouraging us to navigate life when we are experiencing barriers in our lives, for example, right? So what I think is, I need to bring this closer because it's making me feel like I'm too far away. So yeah, we are. Sorry about that. What I feel we need to do is we'll do the modify card today because I think that it's necessary. One of the questions I ask before we go to the card is, I need to say a few things. Firstly, sorry about yesterday's video being so long, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was all over the place. I had to just go with the flow, go with what I was thinking about and what I wanted to share with all of you, because this is what I do on radio. And I don't know, it just feels more natural to talk about what's naturally happening, okay? So the energies, I said something about the energies being different yesterday, and I was talking about how I was looking for something. It was in front of me. I never saw it. I went around the house looking for it. That was my claw clip. And then I came back to the place that I'd started off, and there it was sitting there. And I thought, where were you just now? Okay. So it's like, I can't imagine that maybe I am so, my mind is so elsewhere that I actually didn't see it. However, a couple of things happened yesterday that really, it was, I had some news yesterday that made me think, wow, what is going on? So yesterday in the morning, we went for a walk on our beach. We live close to the beach, as I've mentioned before. We went for a walk on the beach. We're having a wonderful walk on the beach. And then the tide was in, but it wasn't a full tide. It was enough so that you could actually walk all the way into the sea and be standing up, and you'd be like, the water would be up to your knees or just up to your waist, depending on your height. And the beach that we walk on, it's hard to imagine anyone drowning at this beach. And anyway, when I was walking on the beach, there was a person out in the sea, and I was starting to feel a bit concerned about this person because they were coughing so much. And I thought, oh, I hope they're okay. Let me just make sure nothing untoward is happening, and that they, if they needed any kind of help or assistance, then we would provide that. Anyway, I observed this. I stayed back. I didn't approach the person or anything like that. I didn't call to them or anything. I just watched what was happening. And then, what she'd done was she turned around, she stood up, she carried on coughing, and then she went back into the water, and she faced forward, and she was coming out of the water, which was great because I had concerns for her, because at one point it looked like she was struggling in the water. And so, here I was thinking, oh, hopefully she's not in trouble, because, we obviously need to help her if she is. And then last night, a friend and I were talking, and they said to me, there was a drowning down at the beach. Now, fortunately, and unfortunately, well, it wasn't the person I had thought, because this happened in the afternoon. It didn't happen in the morning, apparently. And I'll say apparently, because I've yet to meet anybody who can say, yes, definitely that happened. There was an eyewitness to it. Now, here again, I'm not saying it didn't happen. With all due respect to my community here, that is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was fake or anything like that. It's just I'm having to think this happened, and the people I regularly meet, nobody knows anything about it. Is it possible that we're not watching the mainstream? This is why, because my friend who talked to me and told me this lives on the South Island. But anyway, whatever it is, it was not great news. And I'm sorry that I'm sharing that with you, but I'm saying this for the fact that weird stuff's happening at this time. Weird stuff is happening. People are suddenly getting a diagnosis of a terminal illness. People are suddenly leaving. Now, weird stuff's happening according to me, because that's my perspective on it, right? But I want to remind myself and share with you that we don't know the soul contract. We don't know what the soul contract is of people. And a lot of the stuff that's going on is gut-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. It's sad. It's all of those things. And this is the time of transformation, and it's the time of awakening. And these things are going to happen. Why I bring this to the forefront is to remind us that we need to put on our protection, put on our armor, make sure, sound very Christian, but yeah, put on the armor of God, whatever that is for you, whatever you believe works for you. Do you call Archangel Michael? Because I think Archangel Michael, for me, is like the first one I would call, Archangel Michael and his legions of angels, because they've always looked after me. And recently I call upon Metatron a lot, because Metatron is my archangel that I work with, that I have a strong connection with. He's the archangel of my grown-up life. And Metatron helps with technology. Metatron helps also with animals and children. Whilst we do have we have the dragons. You have a dragon for almost everything you can think about. You have your personal dragon who could probably help you with all those things personal to you. So call upon the dragons, call upon Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael also has these blue dragons that work with him to protect us. So whatever you believe is your protection, I think now is a time to call upon it more. Now is a time to be, not to be frightened, but to be more aware of how we need to protect ourselves. Protecting ourselves doesn't just mean physical protection. It also means a protection of the psyche, the energy space, the astral body, the emotional body. It just means that sometimes we can take, and I speak for myself here, and I know that somebody out there might resonate with us. I take my life for granted. I take my protections for granted. I take them for granted. Okay. And so I've been really well looked after. And even though I don't do a lot of invocation ceremonies to do that, in the morning or whatever, I think you must be learning more about me. I routine processes, routine stuff is something I'm not very active with. I'm sort of like, I'm a go with the flow. Let's go with how it feels this morning. But I have put some routine practices into my life, like I have to walk the dog every day, and I have to try and do 10 minutes of meditation. And I put into practice now doing 10, 15 minutes of holding space for the planet and for peace and for, people that are in war-torn areas in the world, just bringing in some light, because we want to make sure that the light can then dissolve the darkness and things can start coming to the forefront. As in good things, right? That we can suddenly have peace. All of us doing that will bring it in. All of us doing maybe 10 minutes of something. Whatever practice you do, I am encouraging you to continue with your practice. It's a weird thing, even driving this week, driving in traffic. I found I was away a lot with the fairies, and I thought, come on, come back to self. Come back right now to this present moment, Rose. You're driving. It's important. Also have Baxter, my dog, who I know was feeling really sad after CJ passed away, and that we had to send him back to furry heaven, as I've been saying. But Baxter is looking quite sad, and in the last 2 days, even more. And I'm not sure what's going on with Baxter. And I say this because I'm wondering, should I take Baxter to the vet? But if there isn't anything physically wrong with him, I don't know what can be done for his emotions. So, this is it. And maybe now I do have to get in touch with the homeopathic vet that Sarah Ariana was speaking of, because perhaps this is what we need. Or maybe I need to have an energy healer tune into him. That's probably one of those things. Or he could probably have an harmonic egg session with Michelle Goddard. Yeah, well, there you go. Answered my own question. Right. Yes, we'll see what happens in the week, in the days ahead, and I'm going to maybe send Baxter for one of those sessions so we can understand what is going on with them. All right, friends, today's card, I'll share it with you. Also quite beautiful. And here we go. Now, this card is the number 20 card. So it's the number 2 in numerology. As I said, we're going to read the life path number 2. So the life path number 2, we might even go and do a one of the days we might start doing a soul number 2. What does that mean? Okay, we read the life path number 2 yesterday, but we're going to read it again today. And hey, somebody's going to benefit from it. I'm reading from the book Glynis Has Your Number by Glynis McCants. Okay, it's it's an ultimate edition, so it sort of concisely tells you about the numerology, and you work out your life path number by adding all the digits of your date of birth and bringing it down to a single digit. Okay, that's how you do your life path number. So if you've done that, or if you will be doing that at some point and figuring out that you are a life path number 2, let's read a little bit about what life path number 2 is. Life path number 2 is entitled The Mediator. There's a quote here by Mark Twain. She starts off with, she says, keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. This 2 life path number is someone who is seeking harmony in life. They are here to love others and to be loved in return. Music has an especially soothing effect on them. They are easygoing. If you want someone who is affectionate, you should seek a number 2 life path number, because they do like hugs and kisses. They need and give lots of love and affection. Right. Unless all the other numbers in their chart discourage giving such absolute love, it is their natural way. Okay, so that's your life path number 2. And if you know anything about it, and like I was saying, I'm not saying, look, I listened to yesterday's video and I thought it sounded like I was trying to tell you, like I was saying, don't go buy the book. No. If you feel you want to buy the book by Glynis McCants, Glynis Has Your Number, oh, by all means, feel free to do that. I can't influence what you do. You are the only one who can make your decisions. But what I was saying is, what my point was about saying you can go and Google it and have a look was, this is my tool that I'm using for the video. And I have to make reference to it. So when I'm making reference to it, it's not because I'm advertising for it. But hey, if you look at it and think, I'm curious, I'd like to go and find out more about this book and maybe get it, then by all means, good for you. And of course, Glynis. Right. Today's card is the Modify card. Looking at the card, yes, and the card comes, I'll remind us again, from the Whispers of Healing Oracle card deck by Angela Hartfield. My first Oracle card deck, this one, I bought it quite a few, maybe 4-5 years ago. If you look at this, there is a maiden riding on a flying horse, which is meant to be Pegasus. Yeah. We've got angels up there, right? Angels are up here. We've got the mountains at the bottom. This is obviously up in the sky because they're flying. There are birds flying. There are more angels here flying, or yeah, they're angels because I can see wings, and they are playing musical instruments. One is playing the harp. One is playing the flute. I think that one is playing the flute. It's a bit bright. We can't see all of that. And this is playing what looks like a trumpet. And if I got the musical instruments, I think the trumpet is the one that I'm not certain about, that you call it that. But the others, I think I have got correct. We've got geese flying here. We've got another maiden here. I can't see what she's doing. I just know that she's flying. So let's read what modify means for us. Right. Work on releasing your fears and learn to affirm the good in a situation. Positive emotions are linked to effort, focus, energy, and inspiration. Your emotions and actions influence your physical body and health. Positive thinking will enhance your energy. Fake it until you make it. That is, you may not feel happy or powerful, but act as if you are. Sometimes that's a challenge, and I respect that, and even for me. So I understand if you say thinking, oh, yeah, right, Rose. When you make the adjustment and act as if you are happy, your mood will shift positively. Even if you're not feeling happy, I guess try to find something happy to look at, right? And I guess walking, sorry, I'll say this again. That we are doing all this work on ourselves, as in we are practicing mindfulness and doing meditations and things like that. We are becoming more in tune with how we're feeling. And we're becoming more in tune with not just how we're feeling, but maybe what we're becoming more in tune with is how to remedy it. Or what is the remedy? And I guess this is the remedy. Do something to make yourself feel happy. Look at something that is pretty, that is sweet, that gives you a smile. Watch a comedy skit so that you can have a laugh, even if you're not feeling like laughing. Okay? Right. So take steps to create positive change as you adjust to your new life. Are you holding on to past situations and dwelling on them? Be willing to release the past and let yourself change your thinking. It is important to remember that your soul is having a physical experience. Your physical body is not your soul. Work to embrace this belief, and it will transform your attitude toward many things in life. In the picture, a maiden flies on the back of a Pegasus amidst birds and angels. It is believed that Pegasus came from Atlantis. Pegasus represents the time of new consciousness. The angels bring awareness to how your thinking influences your world and what you have no control of. If you are stuck when it comes to modifying your viewpoint, call on your guardian angels. Angels can help you find the positive in any situation. The group is moving into the dawn of a new day. Fine-tune your thoughts, quiet your mind, and listen for your intuition. The feathers and wings acknowledge you. The feathers and wings acknowledge you have the freedom to push through this period. Wow. Perfectly good card. Perfectly good card for what we've been talking about all this time. Stop sharing. And there we go. We put that mode on that we so want. And we are going to bring it back so you can look at it. Let me encourage you now, friends, to take a moment for yourself and breathe. Kolomatzena kalamatsmum. My feet is firmly planted on the ground. Is yours? Mikata mala tomolo kutamale. Kena mato kororo tututonatik. Today's light language is to charge us with the ability to modify how we're feeling easily. So we can start to feel and change the vibration of our feelings quickly. With all due respect, of course, some feelings will take longer. So what we want to do is charge the collective, charge ourselves. We're charging ourselves and the collective with the ability to quickly raise our vibrations to feeling better when we're feeling not so good, when we're feeling blah. If you're feeling blue, if you're feeling blue, you could be a Blu-ray, but, sorry, maybe bad joke, but if you're feeling a bit sad, a little bit depressed, a little bit like, I can't see the positives in my world, Mekisom. I feel very much that we're bringing in some energy from the unicorns. I'm understanding from something I listened to by Diana Cooper that it's actually February is a lot of work to be done by the dragons, but the cards have come through. The unicorns are here because I think one of the others also has a unicorn in it. So Pegasus is a flying horse. Unicorns are flying horses with a horn coming out of the forehead or third eye. But I think that Pegasus is a kind of unicorn. Esuma kiama isgo ziamala zazavoga zalazana gadada tulene chelekazazeme ho. O cum lele chile melodoromalavan solem. Hoye che. Hallechefona mahana mana no tele melodene. Hilama. Holama hilama kuma let's morone de. Zia korome kefena selamat sofana. Korome kutone tele. Kotane tele telama tolama helele modene. Haida hora maroma melele mahawi. Semele china moho. Kilama kitona hi. Kilama kitol. Kilama kitona hi. Breathe, my friends. Hi, karama hitsono kachala lelo tomala sabana tafayana. Ikaramatso makitana maitsikoro matsima kitamato no mahe. Himilela mona timana kitana tet. Komele metina tikutana te. Karamotsu makirmasfo. Kieno maha nekito mahai.
Modify your thinking and your feeling, friends. You have a squad and spirit who is ready to help you. Look at the angels on this card. Look at that. You have Pegasus. You've got the creatures. You've got the beauty of the cosmos. You've got the beauty of the higher realms. You are not alone. If you feel like that you're alone, call upon the unicorns. You have personal ones. Call upon the dragons. You have a personal dragon. And then you have all these dragons that come from various star systems. You've got dragons that, help you from higher realms, 9th dimension, 11th dimension. Friends, yomoko mahaha hiku hufaki odoro ino ododo agadana zoto banetskete zokoromahatsefene tokoromahai. Thank you. I'm going to stop sharing now. So please come back to yourself. Take a moment and come back. Take a deep breath. Breathing in through the nose, pushing the belly out, full of the breath, and then bringing it gradually up to the torso. Pause. Lex and lemon. Look into your third eye. And now release the breath. Okay, friends. Take your time to come back. And if it's available to you, open your eyes, look at this picture, and think about this beauty. Think about the angelic realms and all that is available to you. I'm going to stop sharing. So we started off this, and I talked about calling in the angels and Archangel Michael and his legions of angels and his dragons to help us. And I read some of it, of this card. I didn't read all of it. But it's interesting how the angels are in there, and it sort of supports what that was that I was saying. And so right now, if you're struggling to navigate because there's so much, what's the word? There's so much unexpected, beyond expectations, could not have imagined happening right now. I ask you to call upon your angels to help you, your guardian angels, the archangels that you are familiar with. So whenever you catch this, I also bring down and request protection from our archangels and our Gaia and our dragons that work with us here on the channel, there in your home. Cloak me with protection so that anybody watching this can then see that it's safe to watch it. There isn't anything coming through that is dark, that is of lower vibration. You know, the light language is the thing that I think is a protector in itself, because ego doesn't get in the way. And it's about vibration, picking up the nuances of the vibration, understanding in your mind's eye what you think when you hear the language. Oh, Hela baba hofa zelemo. Hela baba viklo zelemo. Aske forona ketamahena. Koromai ketamara kotomai ketafarana hai ketuna korofahena kushama ketafarana hito koromai hito. Samara kotafara. Right, friends, do not forget. Coming back, breathing, drink some water, hydrate yourself. You've got light codes that have come through with the language. They still keep wanting to come down. There's light that's come into your body that you need to balance out. So make sure to go out and do some grounding, walk out in the garden, be in nature. I feel like I need to say, what is for you will never pass you by. What is for you will never pass you by. Somebody needed to hear that. It's coming from the language. So friends, thank you so much for watching. I leave you with this thought. I found that in the last week or so, my sleep patterns have changed, and I'm having more sleeplessness than I'm having sleepiness. Okay. And even when I go to bed and I feel sleepy before going to bed, I might sleep for half an hour and I wake up and then I'm wide awake. And I noticed that it would seem that that Orion, Sirius, Betelgeuse, and that constellation, Jupiter last night, I noticed this about Jupiter, because they're all rising in the east and the east is on that side. So it all sort of, they're rising and they're going over the house. And so I can see them. I'm finding it, and maybe there's something in this, maybe one of you can tell me, but I'm finding that they are taking longer to set. This constellation of Orion's belt, Sirius, and all those stars around Orion's belt, like, Betelgeuse on the one side, Rigel on the other side, opposite to Betelgeuse. And then moving on, the weird constellation that's got the Aldebaran, the rather orange-looking star, one of it is the end of it. They're just taking longer to set in the West. So I was looking up at them from about maybe 8 o'clock last night, and even at 2:45 this morning, they had not set. I don't know if I don't understand the time factor involved in setting, but I had to wonder, because it's actually more about how we're moving, right? There's a lot of galactic activity, because I look up at the sky and sometimes I see red and I see blue things happening there. And I've seen last night like another thing that looked like a fireball coming out of Rigel. And I thought, wow, it was coming from the direction of Rigel and just going into space and just, dissolving. But it was a ball. It was a flash, a ball of what can I say? Fire? Ball of light. Ball of light. That's what we'll say, not fire, ball of light. I'm fascinated with it. And I'm really hoping that you can share some of your comments if you're watching the sky at night, and tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on them moving so slowly? Are we moving? We must be moving slowly, right? Because we are the ones that are moving. The earth moves, right? So that's why we're having our day and night. And so, yeah, we're taking longer to pass them, because in my view, my vision, they're taking so long to set. I don't know. I don't understand all the astrology. And that's one thing I need to do this year. I need to take a course in astrology, because I'm fascinated with it. All right. I'll let you get on with your day, your night, your morning, wherever you are. Friends, stay sweet and stay salty. Both. They make a good, how do they say that word? Edamame. Good balance. Right. And edamame is, sorry, probably the wrong word. I should have just said they make a good balance, because edamame is not just, it's about all the senses, right? It's sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and something else, 5, I think. Anyway, never mind. You can tell me. Have a wonderful, wonderful time wherever you are. Lots of love and light. I know that we are navigating and we are moving forward. And hey, good things will come, but there's equal value in things that are not so good. And we must take away what it is that we need to learn from it and say yes. And also some things have to happen for other things to become visible, for the next steps to become visible.
All right, my friends, kala microphone kanala ri kudoro ri tina mal kartofana hetalo skena kemarokofa. Thank you so much for watching. Keep reaching for the stars. Namaste.